5 brutal signs that make you look stupid. Let's check this out.
Psychology shows that being stupid isn't about education level or vocabulary. It's about thinking patterns. A person can have access to information, degrees, and opportunities, yet still operate with low-level cognitive habits that limit
Facts.
growth. 1. Extreme certainty. Stupid people don't doubt themselves. They speak on complex topics with total confidence, even when they barely understand them. Psychology shows that low-competence individuals often lack the awareness needed to recognize their own gaps.
Facts, bro. Bro, people that be doing dumb stuff, they got like no awareness or like self-awareness in general, bro. And like dumb people have trouble like reflecting on themselves and like they never criticize themselves. They never look at themselves and be like, "Oh, what I did there was really dumb," or like, "What I did there was bad. I probably shouldn't have done that." They don't think about it. They just think what they're doing is right, and if anyone else says anything different, they're like the other person's in the wrong. They don't really think about stuff.
Intelligent minds question themselves. Stupid minds assume they're always right.
That's exactly what I said.
2. Rigid thinking. New evidence doesn't matter. A stupid person treats changing opinions as weakness. Instead of adapting, they defend their original stance. Even
Facts, bro. They're hard-headed. They're hard-headed. Not like one. Like I'm not gonna say everyone, but bruh, boomers are hard-headed people, bro. Baby boomers, they're hard-headed.
when it's clearly flawed. Psychology calls this cognitive rigidity. If your beliefs can't evolve, neither can you. 3. Oversimplifying complex issues require nuance, but stupid thinking reduces everything to simple slogans. It's obvious. It's common sense. It's always like this. Black and white thinking removes depth. The world becomes smaller because their thinking is smaller. 4. Constant blame.
Facts.
Nothing is ever their fault. Bosses, parents, the system, society.
See, this is like stupid, or like this. You could say the same for like narcissists, like narcissistic people. Like being stupid and being narcissistic are two different things. But narcissistic people feel like they just blame everything on like other people, even when like generally people know what they're doing is wrong. They still feel like they're right. Skeeto, what's up, bro? Welcome. How you going, bro? I just got a Fortnite. I'm on YouTube now. What's up, Skeeto?
Everyone else is responsible for their outcomes. Psychology links chronic blame shifting to low self-reflection and weak metacognition. A stupid person avoids looking inward because self-awareness requires effort.
It requires effort, and it's uncomfortable because, you know, like it's just a general thing. People don't really like being wrong or being told they're like in the wrong because it hurts. And the thing it hurts is their ego and pride. And people that can't like self-reflect and realize that they were the problem, or like things that they did, like it wasn't just the other person that's the issue. The issue was also themselves. But they've got too much ego and pride to like self-reflect and evaluate their own actions. So they just, you know, are hard-headed and like ignorant on purpose. So in their mind, they're always right, and whoever or whatever else out there is wrong.
5. No curiosity.
Long time no see. I got my ears pierced. You got your ears pierced? What, both or one? And you got a haircut? What type of haircut? You get a low taper fade or something?
They don't ask questions. They don't explore new ideas. They don't feel uncomfortable not knowing something. Curiosity is the engine of intelligence. Without it, the mind stays stagnant, and stagnation looks a lot like stupidity. Stupid isn't an insult. It's a pattern of thinking. Rigid certainty, refusal to adapt, oversimplification, blame, lack of curiosity. The good news? Thinking patterns can change, but only if someone is willing to admit they might be wrong. And that's something a stupid person rarely does.
That's so true, bro. And a lot of it has to do with ego and pride, bro. Because in order to grow and like not repeat past mistakes is admit that you did make mistakes in the first place. Because how are you going to fix something if you don't believe there's a mistake there to fix, you know? But people like this with, You know, he's talking about stupid people, but it has to do with ego a lot and pride, because people don't like, you know, because it feels uncomfortable when you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that messed up. You did this, but some people would rather just ignore it and just, you know, live in their fairy tale world instead of facing the truth, bro. I feel like in people, like, not even talking about like relationships or stuff like that, but just in people in general, a person that can't admit they're wrong, or like get uncomfortable talking about like something that's true, like they did something to you and it's obviously bad, and then you tell them about it and they get uncomfortable and they just deflect and can't admit, or they, like, people that can't actually have a genuine apology, like, they're walking red flags, bro. That's so bad. And it's because they have egos, and they can't drop the ego and like realize, you know, what they're doing.
Being highly intelligent sounds like a blessing. People assume your life is easier, that you solve problems faster and succeed without trying. But the truth is, intelligence comes with its own silent struggles.
Bro, like, if you're like, say, intelligent, or you just see things for what they are, good and bad, it kind of like, it would be like, it kind of bad, because you can like break down and already see what could probably happen in the future. You know what I mean? Just based off things, or like if you've been through stuff and then you remember that type of stuff, and say you get into something new, it could be whatever, it could be like a job, relationship, whatever, and you see these signs already in your head, you're gonna be thinking, oh, it's gonna lead to something that isn't good, you know?
Psychology shows that
And that kind of like rains on your parade. Instead of like enjoying the moment, you're you seeing these patterns that you've seen before, right? You already like rain on your own parade, or like crash your own, like, you know, crash your own party, because you already know it's gonna end.
many intelligent people face emotional, social, and even existential challenges that others rarely understand. Here are 8 real struggles of being a highly intelligent person.
Let's say,
1.
let,
You
let, let's see if we can relate, chat. Let's see if we can relate to this.
overthink everything. Your mind never shuts off. You analyze words, situations, and even your own emotions too deeply. While others move on easily, you replay every possibility in your head. Psychologists call this
I do this, but stuff like this doesn't really affect me as much now, because like I still think about it, but now, like, I've realized that if you've got no control over it, you shouldn't like make that ruin your day. Not that, you know, just because something bad happens to you that you had no control over, it doesn't mean you can't be upset about it and feel your feelings, but not to like hold on to stuff like that as much, like, in your mind, and, you know, and just let go. Like, you just gotta let go on things that you can't control. It could be like the weather, it could be someone at work not liking you, it could be a girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, doing stuff you don't like. You know, you gotta let go, and let go of people, and let go of things.
analysis paralysis, when too much thinking makes decisions harder instead.
Facts, analysis paralysis. If you think about doing something right, but if you think about it too much, you'll think about enough reasons not to do it, and then you don't even do it. That's why I feel like sometimes it's good just to send it. Like, I'm not saying just do any, I'm not saying do like just do dumb crap. Like, if it's, say it's a goal or something like that, like, you know, maybe starting a YouTube channel or stuff. That's a very common one. Starting a YouTube channel, streaming. People think about it and they get too nervous. You know, they think about, oh, what if people don't watch my stuff? What if people don't, you know, like my streams? What if I don't have any viewers? They think, and then they think of about enough reasons not to do it. That's why it's good. I'm not saying don't think at all, but don't think too much. If you think it's a good idea and you've thought about it a bit, just go for it. Just go for it. Drugs. Why do you type drugs? What? Don't think about it and just do drugs, you're saying?
Of easier. 2. You struggle to connect with people. You crave deep, meaningful conversations, not small talk. But most people don't want to dive into philosophy, psychology, or abstract ideas over lunch. This can leave you feeling isolated or misunderstood.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm like, I'm like good with small talk, like, you know. I think I'm good. I'm a good like talker, or like, what do you call it? A conversationalist? Is that even a word? Conversationalist? A big part to me, like talking and stuff, has to do with like streaming, because I talk so much in stream, and even if there's no one in chat or there's no active chatters, right? I'm still talking. You know what I mean? Like, it's a skill. You can't just hop on. Not anyone could just hop on and just like constantly talk for hours on end, even when there's not a consistent flow of new chats to read. You know, that's something some people have. Some people just have it. Some people can grow and like get that skill over time, and some people it's just not in them. You know what I mean? And I can do, like, I'm fine with talking, but I feel like I can just see like surface level. I can just tell if something's surface level, or if someone's just talking and they're not really interested, but they're just doing it just to, seem friendly. Like, I can tell that, you know what I mean? Like, I can just tell. But some people can't, you know?
even in a crowd. 3.
And what I was saying, like, just before, when I was talking about some people just talk to just be friendly, just a pastime, blah 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 blah. That has to do with discernment as well. Like, you're able to see what someone's intentions are when they're not making it clear to you. Example. Uh, example. Like, say a guy walks up to a girl, asks for a number. Hey, I thought you looked cute. Could I have your number? She's like, no, you can't have my. No, I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. No, I'm not giving you my number. And he's like, okay, could you at least give me? Could we exchange Instagrams at least? Like, we can be friends though. And she's like, yeah, we can be friends. No discernment whatsoever. If you had discernment, you would realize you already know his intentions, bro. You would already know his intentions. He asked for your number straight away because he thought you were cute, and now you decline it. So he's trying to get in a different way through the friend route. Let's just be friends. But you already know he had different intentions at the start. It takes discernment to realize that and just be like, oh, does he really want to be my friend? Because he just thought I was cute and he wanted to get my number before, but now he wants to be, that's just an example of having discernment.
You're too aware of everything. Intelligent people often notice patterns, behaviors, and emotions others miss. While this awareness can be useful, it also makes you more sensitive to negativity, dishonesty, and manipulation. It's like your brain sees every hidden motive, and that can be exhausting. 4.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. And like, what's the saying? There's a saying. I don't know. I forgot what it's called, but it has to do with like not realizing stuff, and then you're like, not, you're more happy because you know less of like what's going on. And example of that is like when you're a kid. Like, the world seems so much bright and happy because you don't really know like all the bad negative things that are going on around you, and you just have less like knowledge of things, so you are more happy. But as you get older, you realize, your parents are gonna die, you're gonna die, all your family around you is gonna die. Most people work a job for many many years that they never like. You realize that. You realize this, the other. You know what I mean? But when you're younger, you don't think about, generally you don't think about that stuff, so you are more happy and joyful. Not that when you do get older, you have to be upset because you realize all the negative things that's going to happen. It just comes with mindset and just having a positive mindset. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Like, one thing is, bro, I remember that there was one person in chat, bro, and they were like, to me, mind you, they don't know like me personally. They don't know stuff I got going on throughout my life and all that type of stuff. But they were like, oh yeah, you wouldn't know. You haven't been through anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, people just think sometimes if you don't walk around miserable and act like a victim, you haven't been through anything, or like you haven't had any of your own hardships or trials and tribulations through your life. That's just one thing people just assume sometimes. Like, if you go around and you see someone that's never really mad, they don't crash out. They're always positive, trying to be more joyful and like help people out, stuff like that, you know. And lots of the time, there are people out there that see people like that and feel like, oh, their life has just been sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean? But no, it's just I chose not to be a freaking miserable flop and just be a victim of all the negative things that happen to me. Like, why would I live my life like that, bro? And you guys shouldn't either. You know, for your own sake, and also, you know, everyone around you. Like, you become what you feed your mind. Yeah. But yeah, bro. Like, and lots of people that have been through really bad stuff, and they don't continue living like they're a victim and be like, oh, the world's against me. It's because, like, why would you want to keep living that? Like, why would you want to live like that? You know. But yeah, that's just one incident. Like that's just one example. Like, yeah, someone is just in my chat and be like, "Oh, you haven't been through anything. You haven't like." I'm like, you don't even know me. Like what? Just because I'm not miserable and like, you know, hate just because I don't hate myself and miserable. Like that doesn't mean nothing's. That doesn't mean like everything's been smooth sailing. You know.
You feel a constant pressure to succeed. People expect you to always perform perfectly. One mistake, and suddenly it's, I thought you were smart. This pressure builds anxiety and fear of failure, something psychologists call imposter syndrome. 5. You get
All of this stuff that has to do with mindset, bro. Like, yeah, I don't really let it. I feel like it's important, just for your own sake. It's very important to be to not let anyone's comment have value. You know, because say if there's like, I post a video and someone's talking crap, saying this is a bad video, blah blah blah. I click on their channel, right, and they've got no videos. They don't even make videos. Like, why would I take them serious? They're not even doing anything. But say if like a very large YouTuber, like say a YouTuber with a diamond play button or something, says, "Oh yeah, this video isn't good. You should probably do that." I'll value their comment more than the person that doesn't post, because they're actually doing it. You know what I mean? They're doing it. Or another like party, a group is like, say your loved ones, you know, because it's probably coming from a good place. Than if it was like some random person in the street saying, "Oh yeah, you look, this, that, the other," something negative. But if it's someone that, a loved one, and they're saying something that you're doing isn't the best, it's probably coming from a good place. So yeah, don't have everyone, like anyone's comment, like everyone's comment, don't value them the same, because it's not the same.
get bored easily. Your brain craves challenge. Routine tasks or repetitive conversations can feel painfully dull. Without mental stimulation, you might zone out, procrastinate, or lose motivation, not because you're lazy, but because you need more complexity to stay engaged. 6. You struggle with
procrastinate a lot.
perfectionism. You set impossibly high standards for yourself. Psychology calls this maladaptive perfectionism, the belief that anything less than perfect is failure. This often leads to burnout, frustration, and never feeling good enough.
Bro, low key, like with streaming, like this has happened before. Because I want my streams to go well. I want my streams to go good. Sometimes if I'm streaming and like something doesn't go right, like once that happens, I feel like just ending stream, because I'm like, this stream's crap now, bro. Even one time, I've done this, like, yeah, I'm gonna come clean. I've done this before. I started stream, and at the start of the streams, I have an intro song, and this is like how small it was. I clicked on the intro song, right? Just, you know, for the start of my stream. I double clicked, so I was like, and then so I started it, and then I paused it by accident because I double clicked, and then I unpaused it, and in my head I was like, oh my freaking gosh, that's such a bad start. I played through the rest, and I was like, nah, I'm ending stream and redoing it just because of that. Just because I was just like this. Say this video song, I was like this.
7.
I was like,
You question every
That was it. But it's a song, and I was like, I played through it, and then in my head, I was thinking about how bad that was. Like, that's such a bad start to the stream. So I just ended it and just redid it all.
everything, even yourself. You don't accept things at face value. You question authority, traditions, even your own thoughts. This deep curiosity drives innovation, but it can also make you feel disconnected from people who prefer simple answers. 8. You feel
Yeah, I think it's good to question and challenge your own thoughts, because if you can't question and challenge your own thoughts and belief, like, do you really believe it? You know what I mean? If you can't put it up against anything. But I think that's a good thing to do, but it's in moderation. If you do it too much, bro, you're just going to hurt yourself by thinking too much. That's pretty much, yeah.
feel emotionally heavy. Highly intelligent people are often highly empathetic. You absorb other people's pain, understand their struggles too well, and carry emotional weight that isn't even yours. Psychologists call this emotional contagion, when you take on the emotions of others without realizing it. Being highly
Bro, that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why I don't like. I'm the opposite of that. Opposite of what? What are you referring to? That last one, like, the people that are like empathetic and like think about how like other people's emotions and stuff like that. That's part of the reason why I don't hate anyone. I genuinely don't hate anyone. Even like the people who have done the most horriblest things to other people. I don't hate them. You know? Not saying what they did isn't horrible, but I just don't hate them. Because obviously, like, I know everyone goes through certain things, and some people, what's it called, react in better ways than others. Some people react when something bad happens to them in a positive way. Other people, you know, might react by hurting others, which isn't good. But I don't hate anyone. I feel like that's a very healthy thing, not to have any hate in your heart towards anyone. Not saying I like everyone. That's a completely different thing. I think I dislike there's people I dislike, you know, but I don't hate them. Like, I wish everyone the best, even people that have hurt me and stuff. And yeah, like and that's why, like, sometimes even the people that do me dirty and hurt me, like in my personal life that I've like experienced, I don't really get mad at them. You know, I don't really get mad at them because I know, like, you know, I know a lot of the time why they did the things that they did, even though it's not right, and I would never do that stuff to them. But I just know, like, you know, like, stuff that happened, and you know what I mean? I can, like, put it together, like, oh, that's why they did that. Even though it's not right, like, I still know why.
intelligent isn't about having all the answers.
Sometimes I feel like my emotions are, like, diluted. That's not good, bro. I think you gotta work on that. You're, like, emotionally unavailable, it sounds like.
It's about seeing the world in layers that others can't. But that awareness can sins of others without realizing it. Being highly intelligent isn't about having all the answers. It's about seeing the world in layers that others can't. But that awareness can be lonely, confusing, and even painful. If this video felt personal, remember, your mind is not a curse. It's a rare gift that just needs balance, boundaries, and the right people around it.
Yeah, that's facts. As I said earlier about some other things, it's about, a lot of it is balance. You gotta have balance in your life. You know, just like food, bro. A balanced diet. Just because one thing's good, it becomes bad if you have too much of it. You know? Just like with maybe questioning things or other things like that. But yeah, bro. I relate to a lot of stuff in this vid, you know? But yeah. I just think a lot. I just think a lot. Even though people from the outside, or they don't really have talked to me, stuff like that, you know, they might not think there's lots going on, but I do think about stuff. And yeah, being intelligent, I feel like it doesn't really have to do too much with, like, if you're good at math or like reading, stuff like that, because those type of things, a lot of it is memorization. You know what I mean? You can memorize a formula, you can continue, blah 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 blah. But I feel like bigger things, like, I'm trying to explain it good. Like things that aren't in a textbook, stuff like that. Like maybe talking to someone and realize, having an in-depth conversation and understanding where they're coming from, stuff like that. I think that takes a lot of intelligence. You know what I mean? To do that type of stuff. Yeah, interesting vids. Some like psychology type stuff. Psychology reacts. Yeah, some psychology reacts.